Okay, so it's coming around Christmas time, right at this time of year, and of course, there's a lot of advertising going on for Christmas. And I don't know if you've noticed the difference between some companies' ads and others in their messaging and what they're kind of putting out there. We're going to dive into that today and talk about it a little bit. So check it out. Welcome to the Rude Barn Podcast. I am the Barn, and right over here is my buddy,
The Rude. What's up, dude?
We're back. It's been a little while. What have we been doing?
Yeah, man. Family and Thanksgivings and all the things, man.
And
all
vacaciones.
Yeah, got to take a vacation. Yeah, got to stretch the legs a little bit.
Yeah, kind of clear the mind and get going here. So.
Goddamn chair.
Jeez, no shit. Like, back. Back in the saddle, if you will, and the saddle sure hurts a little bit. Oh man! So what do we do for a living, brother? Oh, that's right. We're little designers, and we do a little advertising on the side with that, don't we?
Do a little bit of that, yeah, every now and again. And the thing is, too, is it's surprising of what's going on, and there's been a lot going on.
Oh,
especially, but we chatted, and I think that it's getting a little out of hand.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's like we got to check off every single little box to make sure that we have the proper ads that we're putting out there, so people feel like they're a part of everything, right?
And I don't understand that too, because I mean, there's been this controversy in advertising for a long time, and both of us know about it because we do it for a living. But there's been, over the past, I don't know, maybe 2 decades or something like that, I think there's been a really good balance of inclusion in races.
Almost an over-imbalance, maybe.
I guess I shouldn't say races. I should say ethnicities. Because I don't like the people that say race, because we're all the human race. Okay.
Right. Oh, good point. I didn't think of that.
You know what I mean? But we do have different ethnicities, right?
Right.
And I think there's been a really good job of inclusion and the balance, of I'll say it straight out, of not having predominantly white people in advertising.
Right.
We're having some, I think there's a decent balance now, blacks,
good representation. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And even, just everybody, right?
Yeah.
However, are we including sexual preference in ethnicity now?
Well,
is that what we're doing?
It sure seems like it, don't you think?
It
it's
seems like
vitally important that everybody know what team you bat for, I think, is what.
Yeah. And why? Why do we need to know what you do behind closed doors, after 12, in your own bedroom with your own partner?
Because nobody really cares.
Yeah, whether they're the same sex or not.
Right.
Who gives a shit?
Right. I know.
Who gives a shit?
I don't. You're a good person. You're a good person. I don't care who you sleep with.
Exactly.
Well, unless it's a goat, and then we have a problem, probably. But just saying. But yeah, no, it's we've got to overrepresent certain groups, and the LGBTQAI ZXYZF3 plus group is gone on a little too far. They've made a huge mountain out of these little molehills, and I think wasn't the original concept to just be accepted, not be chastised, not be ridiculed, not be separate, we want to be equal to everyone else in, benefits and how we're treated and blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
But then they push in these other aspects of it. The TQI, plus, et cetera, and I think a lot of the people in the LGB section of the alphabet Yeah.
I think a lot of legit, you know, I guess people in that movement they're pissed because
Yeah.
all these other acronyms are making a mockery of what the base foundation of what they really wanted. You know what I mean? And they're
Right.
taking it too far.
Yeah. It's like, I just want to be with my partner. I want to live a life like everyone else, even though it's the same sex partner, for example. But a lot of these people have gone too far. Now they're pushing it on our kids, and I think that's where. And I don't know if you've seen some videos. I've seen some where some of these, videos from these lesbians and gay guys and stuff are coming out and saying, "Hey, look, we were fine with this, but now you're getting into the realm of the kids."
Mm-hmm.
And we have a major ass problem with that as well.
Right.
And we don't like it and we don't want it. But they keep pushing it. And the trans movement, I don't think anybody really cared that you were a transsexual person, a Caitlyn Jenner, whomever. But now it's like you can't, just because I don't care for it and I don't want to necessarily accept it doesn't mean that I'm transphobic or anything else. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And that's where it's gone. It's like, I don't have to like the fact that that's what you want to do. And there's another video I want to do talking about that as well. But I think we want to just get into the fact that, you be you. But the minute you start pushing that you want more and more and more and more out of everybody, that's when we're all just kind of like, okay, you know what? Slow down. You want to be accepted as like anybody else. You want to be you. Don't have a problem with that.
Well, then, I mean, if you're pushing it so hard, you are trying to form my opinion, and I'm allowed to have my opinion,
right? Which could be different than yours, by the way.
Exactly, and I'm allowed to not want to accept it. That's fine. But when you're yelling and screaming over it, yeah, right. When you're yelling and screaming over it, I don't agree with that, because I'm not in your front yard yelling and screaming how straight I am.
Yeah. Where's our straight pride parade, by the way?
Right. And where's the balance there? And where does, I guess my thoughts and my, opinions start and stop, and yours start and stop? You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't understand that.
The sad part that I've been noticing in all of this is the agenda-driven messages as opposed to the product-driven messages, the storytelling of real people, real life, real emotions, and that could be whatever, gay, straight, whatever. But it's when you start pushing this complete alternative, this complete 0.05% of the people that are way out there, as opposed to people like the majority of us out there who are just normal, whatever that's supposed to mean. Boo. Yeah. Put in a comment. You can rip me apart if you think normal is normal. I don't care. It doesn't matter. That's not my point. I'm not trying to diss on anyone. I'm just trying to make a point here. So if you notice in the advertising, we're going to get into this one. And this one's the big one that I think people have noticed just recently is the Jaguar commercial. Or Jaguar.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about the Jaguar.
Yeah. Now, this is an interesting approach. And then you find out that the new CEO or the new marketing director kind of have this agenda that they're pushing. See if you can see what this is all about.
Pick it out.
Yeah, see if you can, be a detective and see if you can pick this out and see what's going on. So yeah, let's play this sucker and see what it's all about. It itself, I didn't do that. What the hell is going on, by the way? These are completely normal people you see every day in the world walking around. Copy nothing. Well, you accomplished that. Jaguar. Huh. wonder where their car is on that one. Did you happen to see that at all, or
Yeah,
what
we
were they
didn't even see
selling?
the new model of car.
I
All I
really kind
saw
of
was
wanted.
these crazy costumes.
Yeah, I
That's all
kind
I
of wanted
saw.
to see the car. Just saying.
Yeah, I thought that like that was a runway thing. You know what I
Right,
mean? Gone
right.
crazy. Like
Yeah,
what the hell?
yeah. So that, I mean, if you want to look at it like, okay, well, this dude took it upon himself to really push the bounds of advertising and really get it in there where you don't talk about the product, the
Product.
message of the product.
Mm-hmm.
What is the product? Do people know what you're selling? If you have 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and you're looking at that ad, you have no idea what they're selling.
No, I don't know the fuel mileage. I don't know if it can drive on curvy roads or straight roads. I don't know.
Yeah,
Sounds like
yeah.
a lot of curvy roads.
Right. There's a lot of crooked roads,
A lot of
maybe
crooked roads.
as well. So here, this is classic. Now I haven't really seen this, but I did pull it up, and it's really the parody that somebody did of that ad. And let's just see if this is funny. And I hope it is and not stupid. If it's stupid, whatever, that's okay. But let's just play this because somebody was like, this is money right here to make fun of this. So let's check this out.
Jaguar cars aren't selling very well, so we thought, what the hell, go big or go home. We saw what Gillette did and we said, hold my Bud Light. Our corporate marketing team developed an ad that's so edgy and cool, everyone will be saying, Jaguar is sick. We put every last penny we had into those outfits, so if this doesn't work, we are totally fucked. I'm pretty sure it's gonna work. I mean, it's not like this one single ad is going to totally bankrupt our company or anything.
Wait.
Right?
And
Jaguar, we're not just gay, we're super gay.
Oh my God.
I saw that one. I think I saw that one on Thanksgiving, and it was funny because my cousin he uses that voice
Right.
that you know what I mean, as just kind of like when he's joking about some stuff or
Sure,
stuff like
yeah.
that. So
I do too.
when it came on, I was like, dude, Nick, did you do the voiceover for that? It was hilarious, dude. Yeah, it's crazy because if you look at the percentage of people that buy the Jaguar and what tax bracket they're in. And then you look at, we both saw the screaming lady. Well, a lot of screamers at a lot of protests. I don't think that's the same group of people.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it?
You know what I mean?
Oh
I
yeah.
really don't think those people are in the same tax bracket.
No,
and for
they're certainly not in the market for a Jaguar.
Exactly. And especially with today's economy. Thanks.
Oh God, yeah.
And it just seemed stupid and like unnecessary. You know,
it's like we don't know if our message is coming across very well, so let's really push it hard into people's faces that we're really weird and we're effed up, man. And we don't even want to sell a product. We're just going to sell our agenda, which is all they're doing.
Right, because companies like that, it's like Rolex. You might see an ad like every couple months if you're watching the right channel or something like that.
Right.
But companies like that don't need to advertise because they know their core market, and their core market isn't watching TV a ton.
Yeah.
And they do that for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, like, you don't have to advertise your product when you're that kind of product. And for them to do this, like exactly what you just said, it seems like it was more of an agenda thing and less about the product.
Right.
Well, obviously, we didn't even see a fucking car in that.
Well, and the last I heard also is that Jaguar's stock is tanking as well because of that. Because people are like getting a little fed up with this bullshit. It's like, I don't care if you're trying to be edgy, and they could have done a lot more with that, with those, let's just call it what it is, with those freaks, okay? And we are the rude barn after all, so we are rude.
I mean, we're going to say what's on our
We're going
mind.
to say what we're going to say, and if you don't like it, put a comment below. We don't,
Yeah, we'll have a chat.
Chastise you for it. Absolutely. Please disagree with us. But we just like, all I'm doing is trying to push the most weird, crazy, abnormal stuff out there and push it on our kids thinking it's normal, right? And that's why it's the whole TQIAA plus blah 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 alphabet part of the LGB are whack jobs, and the LGB people, the vast majority of them, I think, are not happy that this is going out to our kids. They just said, we just want equality. We just want to be normal like everybody else. It doesn't matter. And then you have Lego. Now, this ad, when was this out? This was a little while ago, but anyway, it still kind of makes the point. But this is, again, you have these companies pushing this shit on our kids. And me, personally, I think this is wrong. You tell me what you think. I don't know if you've seen this before, but check this out. I mean, you already have the, LGBTQ and trans, flag going on there.
Mm-hmm.
But who plays with Legos? Mostly.
Oh, yeah. It's all kids.
But they got the rainbow. I mean, it's like, Lego, what the hell are you doing? I mean, this is indoctrination. This is pushing an agenda on our kids who, are supposed to be a little more innocent, because as soon as they start growing up, they deal with the same shit we all do as an adult. So why do we have to push this shit on our kids right now? Now, I'm not saying pride is shit. I'm not, I'm just saying.
Well, the thing is, though, too, is what does it say? We'll have to look it up. What does it say? I'm gonna look. I gotta look this up. Yeah. As far as what age of kids? Okay. What does it say on the box? For 6 to 12 or something like that. Yeah.
Something.
And so that's your core market, right?
Right.
Yeah, you have, obviously, parents buy most of the Legos for this age group. But when they see that, you're right, it is indoctrination, and it's telling them that it's a subliminal message type thing. They're seeing the rainbows, they're seeing this kind of thing, and for you to target children that young,
it's disgusting, dude.
It is disgusting.
And this is the thing is that people need to understand, why are we pushing a sexual orientation, a lifestyle orientation message to our children who should be playing and using their imagination to build things? This is one thing I don't like about Legos over the years. When we had Legos growing up, they came in a big bin box, whatever, of like 1,000 different pieces or whatever. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to use your imagination and build something from your mind or from what you're looking at in front of you and build it out of Legos. Then you got like stuff like the Star Wars sets, you got the Millennium Falcon, and you can build the Millennium Falcon, or you can build the this, that, and the other. And it took a lot of the imagination out of it. That's why erector sets, the little log,
Lincoln logs.
Lincoln logs, thank you. Legos were all unbelievably creative, mind-enhancing, mind-building toys that allowed you to use your creativity and come up with things on your own. And then they started pushing all these, things. Here's Empire State Building. You can build that. Well, why do I need a set that specifically did? Oh, I know why. Because it's marketing and money. If you sell a set of this instead of just a pile of pieces, you can make more money. That's what it seems always come down to, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, and for a lot of those things, I don't disagree with them because I think it was probably either do that or die. I mean, let's be honest.
Exactly. That's what I mean by partly by the money as well.
But at the same time, you know, I have a young daughter, and she loves Legos, and we get her Lego sets, and what she'll do is she'll build like, you know, like a, I can't remember this last one when we got her, but she'll build the set,
Right.
and then, you know,
underwater city of Atlantis. I don't know.
and then she puts it on a shelf, and then next time she feels like doing Legos, she'll take half of it apart and then half of another one apart and build her own thing.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty cool. I like that
is cool
because it shows, you know, like you said, it shows the imagination. It shows, you know, you're getting into and you have this idea and you kind of want it to bring it to life in a Lego set. That's cool.
Right.
You know, but I don't agree with them just telling my 9-year-old that they need to be gay to do it, or you know, or like even at the end of that ad, where the last half of that ad almost was like a LGBTQ plus 6, 5, 7, 8 party. It was a party. They were having a party.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And is that interesting? Making my child interested in a gay party? Do we need to, you know? Do we need to do that?
Right. Well, and it's frustrating because it's like we're pushing this, you know, and a lot of kids are confused when they're growing up, and they wonder, and you know, maybe, you know, a lot of us have done that. We've wondered, oh, am I gay or am I not, or am I not, whatever. And after a while, you kind of figure it out, and your path takes you down one way or the other. To push this, it just seems like that there's a lot more pressure put on these kids to say, no, you are gay, or you lesbian, or you are trans. It's like those signs, trans kids have rights. First of all, they're not trans kids because they're just kids.
They're just kids. Yeah.
Okay, let's get that straight. They're just kids. You sick bastard, are pushing this trans thing. You're doing more harm to them mentally. I can't, you know, you and I know how many, you know, doctors' stories and these, you know, people who have transitioned who regret it, mental issues, suicide, everything like that. And it's a shame. It's like, stop. Allow these people to go through the process they need to do. These doctors that push this stuff, they're either paid or incentivized or something to push this type of treatment and surgery on kids. There's a special place in hell for you bastards. I mean, there really is. If they did that to my kids, I'd probably be in jail, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and then, you know, they're pushing it on them younger and younger and younger.
Yeah.
To make this decision. You know what I mean? Right. And why is that? Why can't there just be kickball? Why can't there just be normal kid shit for my kid until my kid is old enough to make a sound decision for themselves?
Right.
Why?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it would sure be nice just to leave the kids alone. Kind of help them. I know you're having a tough time, but it's okay. We love you. We're here for you. Don't worry. You know, we'll get it. We'll get through it. Don't worry about it. You know, kids are bullying me, making fun of me. It's like, well, you have to learn to deal with that, because you know what? There's not going to be people around like your parents or anybody else who are there going to protect you. So you need to figure it out.
Right.
How are you going to defend yourself and stand up for yourself? The
problem is children that young don't know how to deal with those emotions, don't know how to deal with those situations. And that's why they are not old enough to make those goddamn decisions that young.
And they shouldn't be.
They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be forced to do it.
Yeah. These people are sick. So here's some more. See a few people sense, kind of a theme, and we're not talking, necessarily LGBT, although there's a lot in here, but more of an agenda. Is there an agenda that you see here, or are they trying to sell the product? So here's, who is this? Uber. This is Uber. And Uber is trying to sell us something.
We all have to be proud about who we are, because when we come together, we make a beautiful picture.
Pride to me is just everything I stand for. It's a time to spread love and positivity to all.
When you see that rainbow flag, you can't help but to feel so happy.
Pride is everybody coming together. Straight, gay, black, white. It's just a unity thing.
When I have my friends and it's Pride, we stand stronger than ever.
I know it's sometimes difficult to accept who you are, but once you find that acceptance, you'll find your pride.
I guess all the gays and everybody, they're the ones that take Uber everywhere, maybe.
I don't. It's
I mean, okay. Again, there's nothing against being proud to be gay or whatever, but this goes way beyond. I think it's unnecessary. I think it more subtle and more kind of a normal thing would be better. Like, you can show a couple guys getting in the car, maybe, who are
right,
affectionate, a couple gals or whatever, without going over. I mean, but look at how they're dressed.
Well, that's kind of the whole thing.
Over the top.
Like, yeah. Do you have to dress like that if you're part of that community? Do you have to wear, absorbent amount of eyeshadow, and swing around a scarf if you're that part of that community? No, you don't. And I think it's bullshit because, you and I both know that Pride is not a all-inclusive movement, and for them to tout it like it is. And even say gay, straight, whatever. Yeah, it's all about including everybody. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not. And that's what pisses me off is the blatant lie that it's all inclusive. It's not. It is an agenda, and it is. I don't know. Yes, have pride if you've made that choice, but you don't have to. Again, you don't have to shove it down everybody's throat, and you don't have to make that your identity. Your identity is you inside, and what you bring out and what you bring to the world, and just being a good human in general. That's your identity, your voice, your inner voice, and what you do with that. It's not a fucking flag. And it's not a tagline for a fucking Uber commercial. I hate it. Or a festival.
Well, and going right along with what you're saying, with the whole flag thing, with the whole this that, it's like, okay, so you are flying the flag, you are doing this, that, and the other, because maybe I don't want to, doesn't mean I don't agree with you having a say so that you're wanting equality for your life, and things like that. But when I don't, I get chastised. I'm not saying me in general, but in general, people who don't fly it or don't agree with it, or just say, yeah, I'm fine. Don't even bother me with it.
Yeah,
that doesn't make us transphobic, homophobic, whatever. And that's the problem, is you are guilted into it by this group.
Yeah.
And and if you don't agree with what they're doing, if you don't take on the rainbow, excuse me, if you don't take on the rainbow and everything else that you disagree with it, and no, that's not at all. It's like, you can be proud, but again, there's a hypocritical double standard here. We don't have a straight pride parade. We don't have a straight pride month. We don't have a straight pride this, that, and the other. Because you're normal. And
could you imagine? Could you imagine if there was?
Oh my God,
the fucking fit that these people would throw.
Yeah,
and
it's unbelievable.
This is one thing. A couple months back, we were talking about on a different cast. I think me and you talked about it as well. But I think it's important to bring up is that you have your Pride Month, and guess what month that they chose for that month.
Right.
It was Men's Mental Health Month.
Hmm.
And as men, we get damned and we get shunned and we get chastised so goddamn much, just for being in existence,
And
right?
they call it toxic masculinity or something like that. Yeah.
And just because we're men, people think that, well, their mental health doesn't matter. They're men, you know what I mean? They force their shit on everybody. Well, no, we don't.
No.
However, the advertising and the when's the last time you saw a commercial for men's mental health? When's the last time we had a parade for men's mental health? When's the last time, you know what I mean, that something like that happened to tout and to bring this to the forefront and bring it to people's consciousness? No, they don't, because it's overshadowed and no one fucking gives a shit. Yeah. And okay, fine. You don't want to give a shit about it. You don't have to give a shit about it. But the people that do, we do, and we don't shove it down everybody else's throat and don't make them,
have to abide by everything that you're looking. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, that's why you talk about in your other podcast, Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys. You go on there, and you and your brother, former Marine, and a couple of his other buddies as well, part of the Bearded Viking group, who's selling the mead products, and we'll put links to the Bearded Viking and to the VOC podcast as well. You're there to help, and like you say, you're not pushing an agenda, but it's interesting how the other side is pushing their agenda to discard men, to say women can do. Have you seen those videos where women say, "I don't need a man," and all of a sudden their car fucking breaks down, or the toilet needs to be fixed, or you know what I mean? Is that
one of the best ones I've seen so far? I actually saw it today, and it was a military sergeant or something, pulling up and saying, "Okay, we're gonna need all you ladies go on the front line."
Right.
What? No.
Oh,
well, you said that you can do everything that men can do, and you don't need any men. So we're bringing you to the front lines.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's unheard of. When it comes down to that,
Have you also seen the stats on the professions that create everything in life for people to enjoy? So, for example, plumbers, 97 give or take % men. Contractor, construction workers, 98% men, or something to that effect. Anyway, it's all up there like that. So all you women who don't appreciate what we men do and do for you and for the community need to really kind of sit back. How many of you are building houses? How many of you are digging the trenches and the ditches for all the sewer work and sewer lines to go in for a community that's going to be built, or a downtown high rise? How many of you are getting out on those girders, walking those I-beams at 60 stories up or 20 stories up, and putting your life on the line to weld steel girders together, or whatever it is, you name it?
Yeah, and that's the thing. When those blue collar jobs start getting to 50-50, then I'll say
probably bitch.
Yeah, then you can bitch. Yeah,
you can bitch like a little bitch.
I won't say you're full of shit, but until those blue collar positions are way off the charts as far as percentages go, you have no room to bitch. I'm sorry.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah. How many of you are putting carpet in? We just had new carpet put in our house, and I don't know how to do it. I could probably figure it out watching some videos or something like that. Mm-hmm. But how many of you women are putting carpet? I mean, and I'm not putting you women down. I'm putting those that put us down, and saying that you can do everything yourself. You don't need a man. Stop it. We need you women. We need you women. You women need us men. I love you women. I do. But those of you, who don't think you need a man, you can go pound sand as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and the thing is too is why, you know, in those communities, why can't we just appreciate each other for what we bring to the table?
Yeah.
Why is that gone out the window?
Yeah.
Why has that become a wedge between, you know, men and women and these sort of movements? You know what I mean? Why has
Right.
that? Why have we gone there? Why can't we just appreciate each other for what we do, and, you know, kiss your partner at the end of the night and just say, hey, thanks.
Yeah, I appreciate everything that you bring to the table, and I hope you appreciate everything I bring to the table. And I hope those things are different because you have a set of skills that are different than my set of skills.
Mhm.
We have similar crossover skills that are the same as well.
Sure.
You know, and we all like a strong woman. We're not saying that.
Oh, yeah.
But when you start putting, you know, some of these gals in these, you know, main roles as the Marvel movies, or, you know, any of these where the female character is supposed to be the strong one and then men are subservient to her in that regard, I mean, they've all been a flop because it's like, that's not reality.
No one believes it.
Yeah.
You know?
And this all segues into the next ad that we're going to talk about. This is from Nike. And let me tell you, let me ask you, I should say, if you can sense where this is going. So check this one out and let me know.
Listen up, babies. Life's not fair. You get no say in the world you're born into. You don't decide your name. You don't decide where you come from. You don't decide if you have a place to call home or if your whole family has to leave the country. Yeah, it's messed up. You don't decide how the world judges a person like you. You don't decide how your story begins, but you do get to decide how it ends. Yes!
Okay, so there's another one that I'll show you that's a little bit different, that is much worse. At least that one, Nike decided that, you know what, we're going to talk about a little bit more about everyone's future is what you make of it.
I don't have a problem with that.
No. There's just way too many other commercials that just don't have that. They again, like you're saying, got to put down the man, toxic masculinity and everything else, whatever, you know, which is a bunch of bullshit. You know, I'm sorry some of you women are butthurt that there are men out there who can do things. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, and this thing too is like I can say a blanket apology for, you know, women who have been stifled by men in certain situations and have I guess maybe have their opportunities stifled, or even, you know, have been in a, you know, DV type situation. I get it. And I get that you might be mad at men for that. But just be mad at that man because that man did a bad thing. That man.
And it's not all men. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not all men. It's not all of us. You know what I mean? You can be mad at that person. You can be mad at that situation, but you can't take it out on the entire other gender. You know what I mean?
Especially when you have men like us who will stand up for you.
Yeah.
And then go after that man for doing that to you, because that we don't tolerate that bullshit either.
Exactly.
So don't lump us all in the same category.
You can't.
It's not going to happen. But here's the other Nike ad I was going to show you. This one is a little bit more of that, where, you know, the whole women are just as good or better, blah, blah, blah. You know, and great, but see if you can see if there's a little bit more of a slant of an agenda here of what they're trying to push.
Today I have a presentation on dynasties. But I refuse to talk about the ancient Greeks and Romans. That's just the patriarchy. Instead, I'm going to talk about a dynasty
Just
that I
patriarchy.
actually respect. An all-women dynasty. Women of color. Gay women. Women who fight for social justice. Women with a jump shot. A dynasty that makes your favorite men's basketball, football, and baseball teams
that was a
look
man
like
there, by the way.
amateurs. A dynasty with fire braids. A dynasty with sick style.
There-
A
there he
dynasty
is
with
again.
crazy dimes. A
Oh,
dynasty
wait,
that
this-
makes Alexander the Great look like Alexander the... Okay. The dynasty that's
Really?
been reigning for the past 25 years. It's undefeated since 96. The USA basketball women's national team. 7-time consecutive gold medalist. And most importantly, women that made it possible for girls like me to feel like they can be a part of whatever dynasty they want. The greatest dynasty ever.
Okay, so why is it that you women, not all, because there's Riley Gaines and stuff like that who are trying to fight for you women and say keep transgenders out of women's sports, because she just said it right in there in the ad. Nike, thank you for saying that. We left a room for you to move up and to do this. But when you let men play, and this is not a topic, I'm just saying this is a little side note here. When you let men play in your sport, you're not allowing women to go up and to do all these great things in their realm, in their leagues. You know, so
Exactly.
kind of a mixed message if you look at it, you know?
Well, they don't want to admit that. You know what I mean? And I like it. I saw an interview the other day where a female athlete came out and she's like, no, this is bullshit. Because it does. It stifles women's abilities, it stifles their records. And it really puts a whole damper, and they're talking about women's rights. Well, yeah, but when you do that, you're taking a woman's right away to play against a group of natural women.
Right.
You're taking a natural woman's right away to compete successfully against another group of natural women when you let the trans into their sports. And it's just the irony in that is baffling.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like a natural woman. I shouldn't be another song, I think. But beyond that, the funny thing, the ironic thing, exactly like you're saying, is the same people who are fighting for that. Excuse me, my voice is gone. While that commercial is there fighting for women's rights, no matter gay, straight, whatever, women are allowed to be in the same, grouping. They're the same ones that are fighting for the transgenders to play in women's sports.
Right.
The Leah Thomases, and all that. And it's like you guys have pick a side. If you want to destroy women and women's sports, allow the transgenders to play in your sport.
Mm-hmm. You'll
and
see
then
how
this means nothing. Your dynasty means nothing.
Yeah, you'll see how fast your sport is destroyed. And I'll tell you this much: if there was, if my children were my daughters, I have daughters, that they were playing in women's sports and there was trans allowed to play with them, I'd be pissed.
Oh yeah.
Number one, because of the locker room thing, and that's a whole nother fucking podcast.
Yep.
And then number two, because generally men are stronger, bigger, and a lot of the times faster. And it's not fair. It limits the opportunities of the of the natural women who have worked all their lives or worked decades to get to the skill level that they are, to have it tarnished, to have it slammed down their throat.
Yeah.
That this person is again bigger, stronger, and possibly faster.
Well, you remember the interview with Serena Williams on Letterman or somebody like that? I can't remember. And they were asking our question. Well, she's the greatest female tennis player. Hands down, absolutely. I don't disagree. She's phenomenal.
Fantastic.
She kicked my ass.
Oh, yeah.
But when it comes to playing men's professional tennis players, I think she said something like, I couldn't beat the number 400 ranked man. in men's professional tennis.
Mm-hmm.
None of those WNBA players could play in the NBA. None of them. And that's not being sexist. That's not being misogynistic. That's being real. And this is the problem. You get somebody like that Leah Thomas, who is swimming in the women's category as a man, didn't make anything as a male swimmer because he was so bad compared to everybody else. I'm now a natural woman, or I'm now a woman, and wherever he said, I identify as a woman, and then he competed, and I used to call him a he because he is a he,
Mm-hmm.
and then he was all of a sudden winning championships left and right.
Oh, and just shattering records.
Shattering record, exactly.
He won by almost a whole body length, and in swimming, that means something. Like when it's judged by tenths of a second, that's a lot of tenths of seconds. A whole body length is almost a full second. You know what I mean?
Which also goes to show you how bad he was as a male swimmer if he's only beating it by a body length.
True.
I mean, you put a Michael Phelps up against Ledecky.
Mm-hmm.
Phelps would kick her ass by several body lengths. Probably.
Well, and that's why, I mean, and we've said this before and we've heard it before. That's why women's leagues were created in the first place.
It's to give them a fair playing field.
Exactly. Give you a fair playing field, play with people at your level, and then enjoy, physical ability, and then enjoy success if you're good, if you're good enough. Yeah, I mean, and you can have your own success. Like one of my favorites is the LPGA. Yeah. I love the LPGA. Oh, yeah. Those women are fucking phenomenal.
And some are pretty damn hot too. Just not gonna lie. Holy shit, dude. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to tangent off there.
But the thing is they're not gonna stripe, 320-yard drive every time like like most of these men are going to do in the PGA and in these other tournaments. And it's just a fact.
Yeah. It's biological fact. It doesn't matter how many hormone blockers you've taken. It doesn't matter how much estrogen you have. You still have the bone density. You still have the bone structure that's different than a female. You still have all these other aspects, the DNA that make you a male. It's like I always say, dude, you can't put a Mercedes logo on a Corolla and call it a Mercedes.
You can't.
As much as you want to try.
And you look at these, and I gotta say it, there are plenty of effeminate males.
Oh yeah.
Which a lot of them go over to the trans side or the gay side or whatever, and that's fine. But those effeminate males aren't the ones competing in physical sports.
I mean, some may be, of course, but most likely, probably not.
But it's just one of those things. You know what I mean? Those guys aren't athletes for the most part.
Well, beyond just your sexual orientation and then now your gender, there's also this that tends to be a little bit more, well, see if you can figure out the agenda on this as opposed to what the ad is really supposed to talk about.
Maybe just a blip. My dad always told me that I should love my hair. So I did.
Wait for me right here for a second. Excuse me, sir. We have a strict hair policy here. I'm afraid I can't.
Okay, I've got to stop this for a second. Have you ever heard of any school or any person like this stopping a little girl from a strict hair policy?
Never.
Are you effing kidding me?
I've never heard of this.
This is the biggest bunch of bullshit.
Right?
And they're pushing this like this shit happens all the fucking time.
What the fuck?
Are you
I've never heard of this.
Let's continue.
Can't let you attend school today.
Oh, bullshit. This is so much.
Even when it wasn't easy.
We talked about this. You can't wear braids if you want to walk at graduation.
Right, sure. Give me a break. That's bullshit, dude.
My dad always told me that I should fight for my hair. So I am.
Hair-based or race-based hair discrimination?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. I want to see what states they're legal in, and I'll go. I'll sign the petitions. I'll fight for it. But that's ridiculous. I don't
No
think
shit.
it's really happening.
I saw that and I'm like, okay, I got to include this in our little montage of ads, and just sit there like they are creating situations that don't exist, and if they did exist, that school district would be sued to kingdom come for the discrimination that they put out there about that.
Especially because, did you see her dad? Like, he's wearing a suit and tie. That's a business guy. You know what I mean? That guy knows that he's educated. He knows business. And if he's gonna stand for that, you think that shit wouldn't have been taken care of already? Right. That's horse shit, man.
Yeah, that dude's bringing a lawsuit against that school.
Oh yeah,
come on, Dove.
He's probably a lawyer. He looked like it.
Come on, Dove, get your shit together.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one because this is just nuts, dude. I'm telling you, they bring up shit that doesn't even exist just to try to make something out of nothing.
Yeah, just to create waves.
Yeah.
Taylin, that fit slays.
Can I tell you a secret? We don't say slay. We say you ate.
You ate. Cool. What else you got? Maximum aura points. Pop in the preppy vibes. Wait, is preppy cool again?
But it's different from how it was in the 1900s.
Okay, what do you think of this school bus driver gal?
You know, I have a hard time with it, dude, because I'm learning the new lingo now. Like my daughters are young, and I don't know if it's not quite this to this degree, but I mean it's a whole new slang language now.
But are you gonna be a pushover like this lady? Like, oh, I want to be such good friends with this little girl who's telling me about the new slang. Oh, I didn't know, sweetheart. I mean, blah blah blah. Like, oh my God, do you have a fucking spine and backbone and be an adult for hell's sake? Oh, I didn't know that was a sign. Cool. Awesome. Get off the bus and go to school. Go get to class. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's another thing I was going to say. They tell me some of this stuff and I'm just kind of like, that's lame. That's you shouldn't say that. That's no.
And you're teaching children to disrespect adults in this particular ad as well. Here, let's finish it. It just has like 15 seconds left.
Hundreds.
Oh.
Wow, everyone's really feeling themselves.
No cap, you weren't French or Ohio at all.
What's Ohio?
That'll be our lesson on the ride home. Okay.
Yeah, but you look at how old that bus driver was.
Oh, I know.
What,
32, whatever.
If that, you know, she's literally driving that bus to pay for her college. Like, and you'd never see bus drivers that young, dude. That just doesn't happen.
Well, she's too young and too good looking to be driving a freaking school bus. Let's face reality. No offense to school bus drivers out there, but really,
that's just not a job that type of woman would have went after.
Well, that's the first one I'd go after if I were her. All right, so have you checked this one out? Okay, this is a company called Boots. They're in the UK. Can you guess where this might be going? Now check this out. I might stop this in between and kind of make some comments because it's just too good. It's just too good. Check this out.
Yeah, they want to know. Sugar plop, slow roll. Come on. Shall we?
What is that behind her? It's
How do I look?
Slaying. Here we go.
Maya, fabulous. Really? She'll love that. Robin. Oh, that's very bad. Next. Marvelous. Incoming.
have you noticed the elves and whatnot are like all women, girls, and trannies?
Yeah, yeah. It's like, what are those actually elves, or what are they Claus's helpers? I don't know.
Right, because Santa, that lazy fat ass, is sitting there snoozing while they're doing all the work, right? I mean,
That misogynist motherfucker.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, let's keep going because there's more.
This one's mine.
Oh my god, I don't know what that is.
We are never out of bones. Last one. You thought it was all him.
Yeah, you guys just got to go out there and deliver it the whole fucking.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. Is he also supposed to make all the toys, wrap all the presents, and then deliver them?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. But whoever wrote that, some woke ass piece of dog shit. Seriously, and you thought it was all him.
But why
I don't think anybody thought it was all him. Ever. We all knew that there were elves making the shit up in the North Pole, right?
And why are the elves just all women and trans now?
Right.
Why?
Exactly. It's like, what the fuck?
I don't understand that. What happened to the male elves?
Well, there seems to be a slow turn back. I mean, some of that just came out for this Christmas, so that's a brand new one. But I think a lot more companies are starting to realize that this shit isn't working. And the backlash that commercial has gotten in the UK and elsewhere around the world has been phenomenal. That people are like, oh my God, are you... Sorry, Boots, I'll never buy your product ever again.
What we do here, Boots.
Yeah. So here's a parody. I love this one. And I think you will too. And we'll play this all the way through because it just rips on the woke culture. Check this out, because this is what I like to call classic.
When I grow up, I want to work for a woke company, like super woke. When I grow up, I want to be hired based on what I look like rather than my skills.
I want to be judged
By my political beliefs, I want to get promoted
based on my chromosomes. When I grow up, I want to be offended
by my coworkers and walk around the office on eggshells
and have my words policed
by HR. Words like
grandfather,
peanut gallery,
long time no see,
no can do.
When I grow up,
I want to be obsessed with emotional safety and do workplace sensitivity training all day long. When I grow up, I want to climb the corporate ladder.
Just by following the crowd.
I want to be a conformist. I want to weaponize my pronouns. What are pronouns?
It's time to grow up and get back to work. Introducing the #1 woke-free job board in America, redballoon.work.
Oh,
nice.
Effing brilliant, isn't it?
That was so good.
Yeah. I mean, we've all seen the when I grow up ads over the years and stuff like that. But to take that and just smash it in the woke agenda's face was just awesome. Just awesome. Yeah. So, yeah, you were talking to me about this about a little while ago about our good buddy Shane Gillis. I wish he was our good buddy because he's a funny effort.
Oh yeah, he's fun.
And I think I don't know how long it'll take, but it will come back. But Bud Light,
yeah, dude. I just saw. I was watching football all day, and I just saw that commercial.
Right, we're watching a lot. So I had to bring it up because this is classic. And when they use Dylan Mulvaney, and their stock just tanked. People were like, "I don't like drinking Bud Light because it's just shitty beer," right?
Yeah.
And if I'm going to drink beer, it's going to be good beer. And Bud Light, not good beer. It's okay.
It's been trash for a long time.
Yeah, it'll do in a pinch when needed. But it is trying to regain the damage, try to get back with the damage they caused a while ago with our good buddy Dylan. Dylan.
Freaking bankrupt him. You know what I mean?
Oh God, they lost so much money.
Yeah.
So here is their attempt at getting back, and I think they did a fabulous job trying to regain the audience and the demographic, and I think they may have accomplished it a little bit more with this.
It is not just a fragrance. It is a feeling. It is a passion.
What? Oh, where'd you get snake?
We are all lost.
Yeah, I'm lost. I'm 100% lost here.
But we are on the edge.
Hey, all right. Are you just pocket full of snake? Yeah. Hey, I think I'm in the wrong commercial.
What?
Yeah, dude, this isn't right.
Wait, aren't you Andre?
No, I'm Shane.
Huh.
My name's Shane.
Oh, I see what's going on. You're supposed to be in a Bud Light commercial.
Oh, I'm supposed to be in a Bud Light. I'm supposed to be in a Bud Light commercial, not here. So that's why I'm the odd one out down here.
Well, if you're here, Andre is.
I love it here. Oh, something is different about you, man.
Commercial, you think they're gonna make it here? You guys like wings? You blue cheese guy, ranch girl? You're a ranch girl. You guys like blood or something?
You guys like blood or something?
Yeah, dude. I think if Bud Light's gonna make a comeback, they gotta come back to the bros, like, you know what I mean, in the college.
Yeah.
And really, I have no clue. Like every time you see Gillis, like he's got a Bud Light. He's always been a Bud Light guy.
Yeah.
And like you see him on Rogan, you see him, everywhere on the cast that he does and stuff like that. Always a Bud Light guy.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, cool.
They probably sponsor him. I'm sure he's getting paid, but that's fine.
Did you imagine how much money they offered him?
Oh my God.
To come and do Bud Light after Bud
that
Light
debacle.
after that debacle. Oh, dude. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He might not even have to do comedy anymore, dude. after the Bud Light thing, dude.
If they keep doing shit like that, they're going to be coming back with a vengeance, and I think it's awesome for Bud Light to do that because I was anti Bud Light.
I'm glad that they noticed that he just drank it religiously, and they could capitalize on it because he's one of the fastest growing comedians and stuff right now, and they have to, or else they're up shit creek.
Yeah, and I think people need to understand too, the whole Bud Light boycott wasn't the fact that it was the gay beer or anything like that, but when it was Dylan Mulvaney, they were spitting in the face. And you listen to an interview of the creative director for Bud Light, who was saying, "Oh, we want to get away from the frat boy image. We want to get away from manly men, blah blah blah, all this crap." And they were spitting in the face of their demographic, of their audience, of their consumer. Who made them who they are.
Yeah, made them who they are. Yeah.
And that was what pissed me off. I didn't give a shit that they were aiming it towards gays and whatever, trannies at the point with Dylan or all that. It was the fact that they wanted to only push that and push that agenda again, as opposed to, hey, it's our frat boy. Shit, we drank Bud Light back in college a lot because it was cheap beer.
It's easy. And with beer, you know how beer is. Once you get a taste for a beer,
right,
that's it. That's the beer that you go with, because by
go to when nothing else is there.
Yeah, and by definition, beer is not that good. You know what I mean? It's not. It's not. It's you definitely have to have and gain a taste for beer.
Yeah.
And once you kind of gain a taste for beer, that's kind of the beer you stick with for however long. Yeah. And then then you taste a different beer, and it's like, oh, I like that beer.
Yeah, and beer was made way back in the day, 1,000 whatever years ago, because water was undrinkable. Too many diseases in it, I can't even think of it. Anyhow, but you know what I'm saying? It just wasn't drinkable.
Yeah.
And they didn't have the filters. You had to sit there and boil it to get rid of all of the microorganisms that were in it. They were making people sick, but you had to have water. So they made beer. Because beer was fermented, it was, distilled, it was whatever, and it stayed drinkable for a long time.
Forever. Yeah. And now, and you saw what happened when you go against your core demographic.
Yeah.
And they went 180 degrees
Yep.
against their core demographic.
Good job, Bud Light. Way to go.
Frat
All
boys,
right.
beer
Yeah.
drinking, college game going guys,
And
and
then they tried to bring it back with Travis Kelce and those guys, and all these guys, idiot guys walking on hot pavement with bare feet, taking a keg over the thing, and then falling back in the chair, being lazy and like grunting and all that crap, getting up out of a chair. No, now you're dissing your audience again, trying to appease to them. You missed the mark once again.
yeah, now they were like, this is like, okay, well, what's the stereotype?
Right.
Okay, well, let's
Just make
bash
fun of
the
it.
stereotype. Yeah. And so I don't know, this Shane Gillis thing might be the best thing that they've ever done.
One of the better Bud Light ones.
Yeah,
in a long time.
over the last few years.
So there's a little hope that companies are starting to wake up and realizing that, you know what, let's not diss our audience, let's not push an agenda that really, is such a small portion of the population, that we're trying to appease this small percentage of the population, and we're discounting and pissing off the majority of the population to push our agenda, and people are getting sick and tired of it. So here's 3 last ads. A couple of these are very recent. This one is a couple years old, but it still hits home. This is a great, and this one, I'm not gonna lie, it brought me a little bit to tears looking at it, because you start putting yourself in a situation like this, and then you kind of see this one's out of Germany, and this kind of shows, family and what it's like to be around for Christmas, and what you want to do to better yourself and things like that. And so check this out, because this will bring a little tear to your eye. Great ads tell a story. It's a great little story.
Huh?
Her face kills me. Little girl. I mean, just whew, okay. So that was a couple years ago. Story. I'm not gonna cry. I'm okay. But
Right.
you can see the difference on these ads, right? I mean, do you notice a difference with some of this stuff? It's just amazing. Now, this one just came out as well. Apple coming in with this pretty awesome ad that also made me tear up a little bit when I was watching it. I'm just gonna say it, but it's pretty cool. So here we'll have to check this one out because this one is actually pretty damn good.
We got it last week.
I think I know what it is.
Are you serious? Oh, guys, thank you. Color that you wanted.
You know this is
You've seen this one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John, listen.
Light the fire. You place the flowers in the vase that you bought today.
He's so excited. Here you go, Haley.
Happy birthday. Look at the picture of me and you, Daddy. Look at the moon.
House.
Daddy, tickle me. I am a robot. What is that?
See ya.
Everything is easy 'cause of
I love you, Papa.
you.
Oh, damn you, Apple.
That's a tough one, dude.
You sons of bees. You got me on that one. You know what? I'm sorry. I have to applaud Apple for finally coming out with something unreal. I mean, that was probably one of their better ads I've seen in a long time from those guys.
I like it because most of Apple's advertisements and their I guess just their marketing in general has been very sterile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that is not sterile. That hits home.
That made me want to go, get the new iPods. My father-in-law has a hearing problem. He just bought like these hearing aids, $4,000 worth. I'm like, holy shit!
Wow.
For a couple $100 or whatever these are, depending on the sale, if you can find them. If these work for him, if they're not necessarily replacements for hearing aids per se, but they could be for a lot of people. And I think that's pretty amazing. And just this, again, the storytelling.
Yeah. I mean, it told the story without having to say much.
Yeah, exactly. There was no narration. There was no words going over it other than the closed captioning, of course. But yeah, I mean, if that doesn't tug on your heartstrings and just say, you know what, this is what it's all about. It's about family. And yeah, I mean, you saw it, right?
Well,
you saw it, right?
You look at the stark contrast between that and the Jaguar commercial.
Yeah.
And really tell me, like, why can't we come back to family? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if your family is not a traditional family, it's fine.
Right.
But why can't we just come back to family? Why can't we come back to sharing moments? Why can't we come back to moments like that? I mean, and that stuff is like, I don't know.
Without being political, without pushing an agenda, without pushing a lifestyle or a orientation or whatever, just be a family, be human.
Yeah. Because that very well could have been, and I'll give him credit on this, the way that was put together, that very well could have been two men.
Yeah,
that daughter,
exactly.
or two women with that daughter. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Very
And
well could have
without,
been.
you know, without pushing it, they still would
Without
get the message
pushing an
through.
agenda. Yeah,
Yeah.
and getting the message across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So the last one, which also, can bring you to tears if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about right here. It's Volvo. And bravo to Volvo as well, because I think you guys have noticed these last couple ads really are head and shoulders above a lot of that other crap that was pushed, with the Lego, with the Jaguar, with the Uber and Nike and everything like that. It's telling a story and kind of really tearing on your heartstrings, pulling on your heartstrings there. And that's what I think makes these ads very powerful and memorable and viral. Oh my God, these have all gone viral. If you haven't seen them, you will if you haven't. So check this. This one's a little bit. It's about 3.5 minutes, but it's worth it. Watch the whole thing.
Hey.
Hey. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, love.
Hey, Mom.
How are you guys? How you doing?
Yeah, we're good.
Something wrong?
No. But we've actually got something to tell you. Kate's pregnant.
Oh, I'm joking.
You're gonna be a grandma.
Oh my god. How does it feel?
I'm scared, Mom.
Why are you scared?
About it all, the nights, the responsibility. We're gonna need a bigger place.
Help with all that.
I know. Bless you. You're so sweet. I've got this feeling that we're gonna have a daughter. Just as stubborn as her mum.
Well, hopefully not. The family's large.
That's a legacy she might have to live with.
Or the cutest little
She
girls,
might be
but
the
good
reason we
Lord.
tied a knot.
Seriously.
What if I don't do good in class?
I just want to say and do the right things,
Killing me, man. Right there. Oh, yeah.
I want to see the world with her. I'll also be happy staying home, doing nothing. Then you'll be a kid.
Are you awake?
Number 32.
thank you.
I want to see her fall in love. But I also know what that means. And I know she's going to bend the rules just like I did. And one day, I'll have to let her go. I'm excited to hear what she learns about the world, herself, what she adores, what she hates. I hope she likes the name you give her.
Have you thought of any?
It all depends.
No.
We like Leia.
Good God, man.
Brutal. Fucking brilliant. Volvo.
Dude, all for like safety.
Yeah.
just safety. That,
yeah, I mean,
damn.
unreal, right?
Unreal.
Bravo to Volvo for that. That
No
was
kidding.
awesome.
That's amazing.
I'm a comedy guy. I love the Shane Gillis ad for Bud Light, but those, my God, dude, talk about, reaching way down in there and pulling out your soul and just saying, "This is
Well,
it."
Yeah, and the ones that grab you, and we might gravitate toward it a little bit more than maybe your average or whatever, because we're sensitive girl dads, but at the same time, to really kind of figure out what matters most to, I guess, consumers, and really think a little bit deeper than just selling the product,
Right.
but for what it's worth. You know what I mean? Almost selling the product for what it's worth. Because we've been in ad meetings before, and nowadays, and this is one thing that's really hard about advertising is nowadays it's a 10-minute meeting. What do we want? What do we want? Throw some ideas out there, blah, 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 blah. And then, the ad's created within a week and it runs.
Right.
Yeah. But the ones where, you have some time to think about it and you have 2 or 3 brainstorming sessions and you have different people like coming in with their ideas about what the script should look like and what the overall message should be. Those are the ones that really hit. And I think that, both Volvo and Apple really took really good time figuring out what they wanted to portray in the messages. And that is when advertising is obviously at its best. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Because these are products they have deemed themselves to portray to the public that these are products that do more for your life than just are a car, that just are headphones to listen to music or podcasts on or whatever. And that these could really, can change your life. And that's kind of where it goes is these are products that are not just what they are. They are part of your life or can be a part of your life or make your life better. It's safer and everything else. And that's why they work so well. That's why when you really look at it and you kind of bring it into personal experience and you put yourself in the place of that dad, if you start losing your hearing and you're like, oh my God, if I can't hear my little girl grow up and go through what she's doing and everything else, I can't hear. It's frustrating. It's like, I can't talk. I've had this crap in my throat for a while, last couple weeks, and it's frustrating to try to talk. And when you can't raise your voice enough, to be heard, it's frustrating. I can't imagine, and I can imagine, I should say, though, I can't imagine not being able to hear as well. But when you put it to a personal level where it's your kids and you got 2 girls, so you totally relate to both those ads.
Oh yeah.
And I've got 2 girls. They're my stepdaughters, but they're my daughters. They're my life. They're in my life. They are my life.
You've embraced them. Yeah.
Right. And I've seen them grow up when they were 10 and 12 to now they're 25 and 23.
Yeah. Going through the first love and going through. Yeah.
Yeah. And going through all the boyfriends and the turmoil and the, trials and tribulations and dealing with the emotions. And I mean, I could do only so much. They always, of course, had their mom, but to witness it and to see how they've grown into the beautiful girls that they are right now is pretty amazing. And even though they're not my flesh and blood per se, they are in my life. They are my life and they're part of everything. And I have an attachment and everything to this as maybe differently than you do, having your girls be your actual flesh and blood.
Well, but it doesn't matter because all those moments are cherished and precious. I had the same thing. So I've got the Crohn's, and when I'm in flare, dude. You've seen me. I'll lose 40 pounds and most of it's muscle, every single time, and then try to have to build that back up when I feel better and all this. But when like I'm at my weakest, so one of my that's the grandfather holding the girl up to the Christmas tree was really hit me because when I'm that weak, I can't pick him up. I can't do that thing. And what my little one, we've always done this big hug thing.
Yeah.
And when she goes across the room and she runs and jumps at me in my arms, right?
Right.
And and I just grab her, hold her, and spin her around or whatever. And that's the big hug. But like when I was sick and weak, I could barely
have her jump into your arms.
Yeah, she couldn't jump in my arms. I couldn't. I was too weak to hold her. You know what I mean? And and those things like just absolutely killed me.
Yeah.
And it's things like that that really resonate with people and resonate with real people's experience rather than a bunch of costumed people out in the desert with heavy eyeshadow that have nothing to do with anything.
Like, what the hell is going on with this? Yeah,
exactly. And those costumes wouldn't even fit in that goddamn car. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
that's the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing that I think people don't understand with some of these companies that have gone overboard with trying to check off all the boxes, is that they are losing the human aspect of this, the real aspect, the emotional aspect, and we're more worried about making sure that everybody's feelings aren't hurt, or we want to make sure that we include every single race, religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation. I was like, oh my God, can we just not concentrate on that? That could be in there, but it's not the most important thing.
Right.
And, to see these last ads, the most important thing, even though they didn't, I don't think they checked off any of those boxes, and good for them for not, because they didn't need to.
You didn't need to. Yeah.
If you as a Black person couldn't be that dad who couldn't hear sitting in front of the tree with their kid, or an Asian guy or anybody else, same with the Volvo ad. If you couldn't put yourself in that position, even though that person doesn't look like you, then there's something wrong with you. And it's like, we don't need to always try to represent all things as in one thing.
And every single ad we do. Yeah.
Because you can't. So let's just enjoy it for what it is. And, I'm glad to see even a woke company like Apple is kind of turning back and coming back around to stuff like that. That makes me, I want to go buy some AirPods.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I need a new pair.
Right. Exactly.
Even like the Volvo ad, it was one of those things to where it was like, okay, they're having a baby. I know it's a Volvo ad. Okay, so they're going to talk about, child safety features in the Volvo. Well, okay. All right. But
they didn't
actually, it was the people, the people that were most affected by the new Volvo weren't even the people driving the Volvo, which was so cool. I love that. I love the little twist on that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing. So we appreciate you watching this video, everyone. We're going to wrap this one up, and be sure to go to our Etsy store and purchase some swag for us, because we're trying to fund this so we can do more of these, because we absolutely love doing this. You guys have no idea how much we love doing this, but we got a bunch of hats and sweatshirts and laptop covers, shirts, different things like that. Question everything. That's why we're talking about a lot of this stuff. Even though you see these Jaguar ads, you're like, why would they do that? And put that out there, not even show a car in there. What are they trying to do? And these are the questions you need to kind of ask. So kind of check things out. We would appreciate you going in and helping us out. It's the rudebarn.etsy.com is the best place to get there. We also have for the mental health, for men's mental health, we got the Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys, and give them that address or podcast that they can go to on that.
Yeah, the Vox Show. We're doing a live show now on Rumble. We're not doing the long format right now. We probably do a little bit more long format as time goes on. But the Vox Show, Tuesday nights, 8:00 Mountain Standard Time. Come on there. Jump in the chat. We love to talk to the people in the chat, and we're loving our Rumble family right now, and and really, it's a good sounding board to talk about men's mental health and get some feedback, and really love that, and really love what direction it's going in. So
and we're uploading our show here also to Rumble. I think I have most of the episodes up there on Rumble right now as well. This will be up there soon. As by the time you see this, of course, it'll be there. Weird how that works. And then we'll also try to upload it to some other platforms as soon as we kind of get those going, like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, Apple Music, whatever it is that's on. And different things like that. We'll get that out on there as well, and we'll let you know. And then the last one is our good friends, Bearded Viking. Tell them about that real quick, Rude, and then we'll get out of here.
The Bearded Viking Mead Company. You can check us out at beardedviking.com. We got new flavors coming out all the time. There's a ton of stuff going on with Bearded Viking. Obviously we can ship to, I think it's 44 states now, 43 or 44, something like that. But we got a really cool feature on the website. It's obviously it's beardedviking.com, and then you go on there and you can we set up a hooch finder. So whatever state you're in or whatever, you can click on the hooch finder and see where you can pick up Bearded Viking close to you. And if it's not in your store yet, you can order, most states you can order online and it can be shipped straight to your door. So
that's freaking
good
awesome.
Things happening at Bearded Viking. And we're pushing to get it into all 50 states, and we're almost there. So
nice.
Look out for it. And
check it out. They're our partners. We work together with those guys. They're awesome, and it's a great thing. So check everything out. And again, we're the rudebarn.etsy.com for our merch as well. And go check out some stuff there, and that'll all help us out. Please like, subscribe, and share. If you subscribe, this will help get our algorithm up. You guys know how this works. It takes a second. And definitely like the video. We appreciate it. Hopefully you liked it. We're trying to have some fun with it. We're going to work on the next one here and get you on out of here for now. But we appreciate you watching the Rude Barn podcast today. So have a good one, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in, gang.
See ya.